I would love to
I'm
see
glad you
that.
said that though. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad you said that though, because you said it's gonna mess up your money though if you do it that way though. Which is funny though, because you had another subject about how much money people are getting from streams and things like that. And I thought that was crazy segue. You just said it right there. I looked, I'm like, oh, this man cooking. I was like, he in his bag. Like, because that is the craziest topic I ever was thinking about, because I didn't realize that there's a lot of people who don't really know the business side of the
Music.
music, like, and it's not even about like crazy business. It's like
Mm.
the simple part, like, you know what I mean? Like, people always think like, all right, cool, I'm gonna just go ahead and throw some money at a project, and then as soon as I throw it on whatever right here, I'm gonna blow up, I'm gonna get a million views, and here I am. Like, and then to find out, let's say that even does happen and you get a million views. Million views ain't no money. Million views ain't no money. Them splits, bro, and then
Well, they say
the way they break
4,200.
it for what? Wait, for 200 streams for one copy?
No, for a million streams, it's like 4,200 or something like that. That's what I saw.
Oh, $4,200. Oh, okay. I was doing the 1,500 streams count as one copy, so I guess we do the math on that.
Oh, you're going as a
Uh,
copy per copy.
I mean, we don't have to go that way, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I got you. I got you.
no, actually, no, what? No,
I
actually,
was
no,
just
no.
going
We,
by
we're not talking about
cost.
college because we're talking about money. Because we're
Yeah,
talking about how much they get, right?
cost.
So, I think it's a million streams. You said 4,200.
Yeah,
Oh,
something
it went
around
up.
there. Something
I
like
thought it was
that.
like 37, like 35. Okay,
No,
but yeah, 40.
it's
Okay, cool. Okay,
yeah.
42. Cool. Now what? I bet. Right? I was like, now what? You spent probably about 30,000 for the song, like, or the production, the album, all the shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, but no, but you brought up the question of actually, what did you say? Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
1,000 streams per year won't be mon. Wait. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you don't
Oh
have
yeah,
a
the
thousand
artist.
streams,
Yeah.
you don't get your track in the pool to get the royalty money. So um, you have to have at least 1,000 streams on Spotify for you to even be eligible to get in the pool to get the money of the small percentage. So
Mm.
pretty interesting way to
Well, they're closing the gap on the artist and business side. That's interesting. They're closing ranks. It seems like they're really saying they're pretty much really saying fuck the artist, like, as much as they can. Like, it's great. That was getting blatant.
yeah, I took it kind of as like, oh, these are like hobbyists and these are the artists. I started to take it kind of like,
Oh, that makes sense.
why y'all
No, that makes
just
sense.
separating these people because they don't get enough streams, so you think they're not worth making any kind of the money? But damn, that's crazy. That's how
Yeah,
I took it.
but I mean, how I took it was that, bro, like, if you're really a popping artist, my dude, you ain't getting no Spotify money anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean,
It's,
okay, the top five. There's like maybe a top five artists, like the Young Boys back in the. Oh, Young Boy ain't getting no money no more. Oh, anyway, Young Boy probably still get some. But anyway, but like, the Drakes, the Puffies, the Birdmans, the Waynes, the top five, top 10 people, the Moneybag Yo's, you know what I mean, the Futures, like, you know what I'm saying, the Kodaks, like,
100%.
them people, they gonna make a couple dollars. They get a stipend. They get a check. They open that mailbox. They seeing something every month, like, for sure. Uh, but as far as everybody else, man, every other artist is really eating their money off merchandising and shows and other endeavors like features and things like that, like marketing, like walkthroughs, like they they done found some investments, real estate. They own businesses, like other people. They done found like they. I don't know. People not really checking on those Spotify money, like, really like that as artists. Like,
Oh yeah.
um, I thought it was interesting because I think people have to realize nowadays that the rap game isn't nowhere near as what people thought it was, like in the '90s, where it was like, what's that Diddy video or some shit where he signed Shine, got him two houses and a Benz and some other shit. I'm like, bro, it's not like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't doing nothing like that. Like, not even close. So, I think nowadays people have to realize that they should be treating rap like a hustle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like girl who like actually like she do hair. She go to school. She just graduated college, but she cook food on the weekends. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
She
she and
just
she work at
catering.
Walmart during the
Yeah.
week. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, okay. Like, she got 4 hustles. Like, you know what I mean? You got to think about it the same way. You'd be like, yeah, I do cinematography. I rap. I actually I make beats. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, oh, I drive trucks or something. Like, you know what I mean? But you got to still do something. That's why it was funny when I saw that. I can't remember that rapper. I don't want to be disrespectful by not remembering your name, but he was a mailman and he had a platinum. Yeah, I think he got a Grammy or something like that. And he never quit his mailman job. Stayed as a mailman. Never bought a jewelry, all crazy cars and shit. Like, just got his little check. Like, you know what I'm saying? Still makes music. Damn, I wish I knew who it was. I'm gonna try to look that up later on. But it was funny because he was just sitting there on in the mail truck, and they were like, "Yo, how come you don't do this?" And woo woo. He's like, "Man, because this shit come and go. This ain't real life, man. Like I'm here taking care of my people. Like, this is a hustle. It's part of what I do. Like, you know what I mean." So I thought it was. They're like, "Why didn't you quit your job?" He's like, "Man, why would I quit a job that's making me money weekly? Like already, like, you know what I mean? That's a
With
hustler spirit.
benefits.
Like, oh God, like I'm like that sounds dumb as hell. Why would I
Good
quit my
benefits. A
job? Yeah,
mailman?
for sure.
Shoot.
What? That's government. What the hell? That's USPS. Yeah, don't play.
Right?
Don't play. Do not play.
Right? I'm like,
Shoot,
come
they
on.
damn yeah, them in the DMV and do not play. That's surely. But yeah, so I was just thinking about what you said when you said what was so my response. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, there's different avenues, like, just
For sure.
like I don't know. Like when I thought about I kind of laughed when I saw the whole I was like, oh, Spotify doing that now? Okay. Like, who's that affecting? Nobody. Like
Yeah.
maybe Spotify because they can actually like spend a little less money on the people who have to work on the monetization. Make payroll, like because it's like less people. Like,
Yeah.
mm.
I don't know. It's interesting, but
Spotify been doing some good shit though. They've been, they doing like yeah. They like the new SoundCloud, ain't they?
oh
They
yeah.
gobble their ass up. They gobble their ass up. Like they doing a lot of. They doing some big. They making moves. They making
Oh
moves.
yeah. Yeah.
My bigger question for you is, I was wondering with what Spotify is doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, this is way off track, but I was just wondering because remember when I want to say maybe a year or two ago, all the artists started selling their catalogs for hundreds of millions and things like that, and we never got an answer to what the why rhyme or reason was of that. We just know it's gone, and we just like, oh, shut up, bro. He got hundreds and hundreds, and nobody said nothing. And then I'm noticing Spotify doing things. I feel like music is changing in such a crazy dynamic way, like, and it's going to flip it on its head, and we're just going to be just, you know what I mean? The last to know is it's going to hit us like, boom, oh yeah, we're doing it this way now, and blah blah blah. Like, because like I said with that TikTok situation, with TikTok and Universal, I thought that was gonna be kind of resolved fairly quickly.
Quick.
Like, yeah, super quick. Like, come on, bro. Like, because you know me, I'm on TikTok too. Like, hold on, my bad, YouTube, but we on other platforms. Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? We're trying to get monetized everywhere. But I thought it was very interesting how I was on TikTok. Like, I remember all the songs, whatever, woo woo. I remember going on there and trying to post something and then being like, yo, you know what? I'm just gonna post on my own shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They like the catalog is crazy right now. It's empty. It's bare. It's tumbleweeds. Like, it's
Mm.
looking crazy. Like, so I thought it was interesting. I thought they for surely would have just like crumbled. Like, okay, come on, or folded, I should say, and then like or acquiesced to the demands of Universal. But then not because I'm like, because how's Universal gonna get paid for paid for their shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but Universal just said, fuck it, we're gonna make our own streaming service type shit, and we'll get paid for just exclusive Universal artists. And I'm like, that's ballsy.
Mm.
That's ballsy. But they got the catalog to do that. And I think if they do that, maybe their other, maybe the other labels might be like, they'll start doing that too, or maybe they'll jump into that one, or and start making the social media platforms pay them, like, you know what I'm saying, and be on, you know what I mean. So, and then, like I said, all that at the end of the day affects the artist in a tremendous way because that's another way to sidestep the artist You know what I'm saying? And go straight to, you know what I mean, out their hands, because they don't know now all that money talk, all that double hand backdoor dealings and shit like that, all that money all that product going from this way, this way, this way, this way. Never once does the artist be privy to any of that knowledge or conversation where the money's even going to be funneled to, because they're not getting a piece of that. They might get actually they might not get a piece of that at all, actually, depending on the deal they signed. I don't
A
even think they're
small
getting there.
piece.
Yeah, oh god,
They'll get
yeah,
something. They're getting a small
yeah.
piece.
I was thinking about that deal that Danny Kane was complaining about.
I don't know
That
that.
that yeah, did anyway, just recently Puffy gave back everybody their publishing and shit like that. And honestly, it was the smartest way to give back the publishing, because he just sold your publishing to another company. So whatever they reap from that, they pay you. So he sold to Sony, I think he sold to Sony Music Group, whatever, which is smart, because now, okay, cool, I ain't gotta deal with you no more. You get paid your shit now. I still look player. I gave you your shit, but if you don't get a check or whatever's going on, you gotta deal with them. I'm absolved of the whole situation. But Danny Kane got a real dose of stream money. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were they sold a lot of records, a lot of records being sold, a lot of streams. But by the time it gets to them with the contract they initially sold, she was saying they only get $800 a month, $700 a month, depending. Sometimes only 3 or 4. Like after such an illustrious career. So and that's just streaming. And that's if you sold millions of records. Back then, that was still records back then. Remember that? That was records still back then. Like, okay, that's the only reason why that number has gone up exponentially. To be real with you, if you ain't never dropped a CD in these in these hip hop streets, your bag is gonna be a little lighter than most of these other people. Like, people be walking around like, why is Usher always looking good, smelling good? And I'm like, yeah, he's back then. He's from the generation of CDs. Like I'm trying to tell. Usher ain't aged a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's that CD money. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my god.
But I'm not lying. But I'm trying to tell you, like, it's just crazy, like, because like for the newer generation, when they're trying to come up to them, yeah, I'm gonna just go in there and do a song, woo woo. Like, that's why I just like I didn't I mean, I didn't care about the Spotify situation. I was just like, all right, bro, like it's still the independent route for most of these artists if they want to get a couple of dollars, like, about for their craft. Like you might as well just keep it independent. Like with Spotify, like, I mean, you could still be independent and put your shit on Spotify. So like, I don't know. I don't see like why that really would affect like any. I don't know. Can you tell me why you think it would affect like an artist? Like,
I don't know if it's gonna really affect, but it puts a like gate up for sure. So if you don't hit this threshold, you can't get money. Where even if you join and you get 100 plays a year, let's say that's the $2 check. That's still a $2 check that you're gonna get if that's motivation or not. You know what I mean? But now you have to have at least 1,000. So it's just interesting. It's not like I hate it or anything, or it's the devil. It's just I'm just like, this is interesting. You're doing this and doing it this way, but I
oh no, I just
it's
thought it
kind
was
of
interesting that you brought it up like that, because to be fair, um, even to be monetized on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, you gotta come with some streams. Like, you gotta come
mm,
with some hours. You gotta so I'm
oh
like,
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
I'm looking at it, like, I'm like, they ain't even coming crazy with the number. They could have been like, man, I need 10,000 from you, like monthly listeners or something. Like, they said 1,000 streams a year. Like, you can get that by listening to your own music. Like that's crazy. A year, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I just like honestly, like, I just don't. This is why I said in the beginning of the episode, when I said, man, we don't really talk about music because the shit is frustrating sometimes, and also, like, it's on the surface of it. Sometimes it's just pure bullshit. It's like, I feel like a dog chasing his tail sometimes when I talk about hip hop. Like it's just crazy. It's like they
It's
don't fuck
just
with us.
bleak.
Like,
It's
you know what I'm
bleak.
saying? They don't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, they
bleak
don't
right
fuck
now.
with
That's
us
all.
as an
It's not
artist.
not not looking good.
You know what's crazy? If I was any other profession in the industry, I'd be like, man, hey, let freedom reign. I'd be any other profession, anybody besides the artist. You could be the choreographer and still be getting paid. Like, you, the person who writes the treatment on the videos, that the videographer, like, anybody but the artist. I, I, I ain't heard nobody. I ain't heard a stylist come out talking about, "Hey, you heard? I'm down to 800 garments on my weekday now. Like when I go to my clients, like no, like no, don't hear none of this. Never mind. Only the artists I hear like, "Hey, you heard?" And but it's crazy though, because they put such a what's it called, a flashy, flamboyant image of an artist. So it's funny because you see rapper gotta have a mansion, gotta have a Bentley, gotta have, I don't know, $100,000 in a
A
jury, gotta
rapper starter
have,
kit. Yeah,
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 yeah, the whole, no, the starter kit, the flourish kit, and the I made it kit. That's three different kits.
the
That come with three different
DLCs.
females as well. That come with three different females too, by the way, on your
Mm-hmm.
road. And it's like, but I'm saying, I think it's funny though, because like, man, after all, we all know, like, if you're in that game, that ain't yours. You don't own that, and if you do, you definitely broke. Like, you shouldn't have bought that. But the thing is though, the public doesn't see that. So what they see is like, oh yeah, you got money, you must be millionaire, millionaire, millionaire. And then they hear some like, oh yeah, you got to have 1,000 streams per year. They're like, oh, they ain't tripping, because they're like, he's got millions of views, not knowing that most of the time these labels are doctoring these views, and those streams don't even count either. We ain't even we didn't even go down that road. You know what I mean? We didn't even go down that road. Like, but I think it sucks. Shout out Sheryl Crow though for using her music on commercials though, because I think I was at the beauty supply the other day. I heard Janet Jackson, and I was like, get your money, girl. I was like, what I mean? Go ahead, 'cause not that Sound of Music version. I'm talking about really her, like, what I mean, like Super Bowl performance her. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, Janet sold that. I ain't mad
Hell
at her.
yeah.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. That's why it was funny, because I was with the boss, so I look over and I was like, and I'm over here like, lose control, like, what I mean. I'm saying control. My bad. I don't know if I can sing the song. I don't want to get fuck up the
Yeah, yeah, no, I got
monetization.
no, don't do it.
But yeah. I was just, what I mean. I was just,
Yeah, you doing it,
you
you
know what
doing
I'm
it.
saying?
And
Yeah, you
then
know what I'm saying. And then my the boss was just over there like, yeah, what are you so happy about? I'm like, I'm actually more happy the fact that like this person's getting a bag. Like when you hear this, it ain't like that weird sound of music where it's all garbled and somebody just put through a synthesizer. Like somebody's actually getting paid for their music. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where it's at, how it doesn't matter. Like you get paid for your music. Like I thought it was so dope. Like that's what I was at on it. Like when they say, "Can you believe Sheryl Crow is selling her music for commercials?" I'm like, yes, these artists are broke. Like, and even if they're not broke, that's another way to get your bag off, get more of a bag off a song that you already created. Like, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
I love when I see an artist find a way to whoop the system. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can repurpose your song and actually, whoop the system. Like we hear that all the time. Like once the label finds out you can get away with that, they'll put it in the contract for the next generation, so you can't get a bag that way. So they can get a bag. You know what I mean? So they can take that. So while you still have it in your contract to go and sell that singular wireless little ditty, go on and sell that. Like whatever it is, like for real, I ain't mad at it. But what do you think about that whole part?
What whole part?
The part about artists selling their music for commercials or trying to find a
Oh,
way to
the part
repurpose
like
their
the
music.
Cheryl Crow part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think that's what ties to what you're saying about people selling the catalog going all the way back. Like, I think people early on saw the numbers, how much is coming in off streaming, how much they're paying these agencies to do the administration, meaning make sure they call the labels or the Spotify's to get the check if it's not there on X date. They have to pay people to do all this. So
Facts.
if it's not worth all this money to do all this, it's gonna sell it. And I think the Sheryl Crow stuff just kind of like backs that whole theory. Like this is why people are selling their catalog. They're like, yo, I'd rather get 400 million right now than deal with spending a 2 million or a million a year just on staff to like make sure I can get my 40 million or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I might just want my 400 million. So,
That
um,
actually begs the question.
yeah.
I don't want to cut you off too much, but that actually begs the question. Like this is kind of a not a standalone question, but it's a question that kind of equates.
Yeah.
So the lottery, the California lottery, they give that same option. Would you rather, like, say you won
Oh,
$1 billion,
a
or
lump
say you
sum.
won like, yeah? So would you go with the 20 million, right? Let's say you won like 50 million. Well, actually, wait, sorry, what's Sheryl Crow and them getting? Like say 400 million. All right, so would you
Yeah,
rather get
yeah.
Yeah, would you rather get the 400 million right now in the lump sum, or you personally? I'm asking you personally. Would you rather get 400 million right now, or would you rather go ahead and just go and get that 4 million every year or something like that? With 20 years, I don't know the math on that. I think it's like something like that, maybe 4.
I'm cashing out.
With 400?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay, my man. I just want to make sure. No, go ahead. I just want to ask because I'm doing the same thing. I know I'm horrible with money, but I actually, like I said, I have a boss now, so I would be smart enough to just go ahead and give it to her.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not asking for the 400 so that I can spend it, but
Yeah.
in terms of value market, I mean, if I've been in the game as long as, let's say, Timberlake, I think he got like something like that, like 400 million or some shit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're doing good.
let's just go with him, his scenario, right?
Okay.
Like,
Right. Shout out
he been
Justin.
in, he been in the game at least what 25 years now,
For
almost
sure.
30 years,
96. So yeah, almost 30 for sure.
almost 30 years. So
Huh.
Timberlake been in the game. He's seen the cost, the checks from back in the day, through the
Mhm.
2000s, through the 10s, through the 20s, and realized the fluctuation of the value of music and everything, right? He's probably
Okay.
seeing like, okay, I can give this to my kids and they can hold on to it. But if we're looking at this as art and you're looking at the value and the appreciation over time of this art,
Mm.
hand painting art is going to be more valued than like handmade scriptures or something, right? Like you know, just as an
Yeah,
example,
that's where you're going.
so
Yeah, for sure.
so I think that's kind of where all this comes into play for all that. Like I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say though. Like
Yeah, definitely. No. To me, that makes perfect sense. I'd rather hand my child maybe 100,000 or sorry, $100 million worth of stocks rather than $100 million worth of my music. Like, you know what I'm saying?
oh
I ain't
yeah
gonna
yeah
lie.
yeah
Like,
yeah
maybe,
yeah yeah yeah.
like, I mean, if we're
The
talking about
value.
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, well, we got this, you know what I mean? What do you call them? The SMHs. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got 100 million in this, or you want that shells, bones, and seed rights? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I
Exactly.
got this
Yeah.
S&P, I got this S&P shit, or I got this sales bones and seed shit. Like,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
hey, you don't need a rocket science. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I feel with Timberlake. It's kind of like that. Like he just looked at the value. He's been in the game. It's better for me to cash out because the value doesn't look like for music it's going up. Maybe it's going to be my kids, and music comes back and it's super valuable. And then if they've held it that whole time, how likely are you to have every generation agree to hold on to it, right?
Hello, hello.
So
We've seen it.
mon
We've seen it.
and it's your money and it's your art. So I can see why most people would want to cash out. I would cash out the same way.
Definitely,
Like I'll build
definitely.
them a legacy a different way, and they can handle it that
Yeah.
way. They don't have to do a music or
I
you know what
love,
I'm
you
saying.
cooking now. My man cooking. I like that. He said, I'll build them a legacy a different way. I'm glad you said that because a lot of people feel that the music is the kid's legacy. And I always felt like the music was my legacy. What I left you is your legacy. Like now, if you only left your kids some music, maybe okay, maybe that's their legacy. Like, but I thought maybe the name, the schooling I put you through, like you know what I mean, the play, you know what I mean, life. That's the legacy I gave you. Like you know what I'm saying, like. But that was crazy. Like, I'm glad you said that though, because like you know what I mean, kids say that they want that for the legacy. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
not the kid's legacy technically. In my mind, I could be wrong. Don't come for me. But in my mind, in the comments, like I'm on some like you wasn't shooting with me in the gym shit. Like like that's just me. Like maybe you inspired some shit. But like I
I'm
said, you wasn't
saying,
shooting with me in the gym. Like
I'm
like
saying,
that's all I'm saying. Like me
I,
personally, like
I might be able to flip this 100 million in 4 years
oh yeah, quickly,
to like 800 million off that one
quickly.
by just
That's
giving it
you.
to
And here
some
you go.
giving
Here
it
you
to
go. You
some
get
people in the Middle East that want it real quick. Yo, here you go.
yeah. That shit is
Bada
wild.
bang.
What do you think they got planned, man? They got something cooking, bro. Like
Oh, they just
it's
trying to be on the
diabolical.
map, fam. They trying to make sure it's okay to come over and tourists and they got a lot of work, but their work this is part of it. I'm
Mm.
happy to see it, man. I'm happy
Me
to see
too.
it.
I'm not mad at it at all. And
I'm mad at them peoples, even though we
me
had
either.
issues with them and shit. But
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that like it seems like they actually are trying to speak America's language. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They just
They're
let's see
like,
what the world's interested in, and they're like, we
yeah,
want a
and they're
piece of
like,
that.
yeah, and they're like, you know what? Like, we're not shy about paying for it because I'm a firm believer in that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know we come from I'm sorry, we come from a culture of colonization type shit. Like, but
Yeah.
like, I'm more of a fan of like, you know what I'm saying? If I see it, I want, I'm gonna put the money on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna haggle with you. If I want it, it's coming with me. So, like, I'm a fan of seeing actions like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really focused on who's doing it. I just like seeing actions like that. We're like, okay, we want golf. You coming with us? No, we don't do that. 45 million. I mean, it ain't that hot over there like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen some people changing their minds like quickly when start dropping them dollars. Like, you know what I mean? They were like, well, like, you know what I mean? They was talking with the league about it. Like, come on, man! I'm telling you, on the summertime, they said they wasn't even doing it like that. Like, what they doing? Like, actually, I saw it. Like, I respected the whole thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta make it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But speaking of wait, hold on. I want to ask you one more question. I ain't gonna hold you about the yeah, about this question right here. When you said, "How can artists earn money from Spotify?" I thought they might have got my response from that, but I don't think they got. I don't think people might have got to hear what you thought about that.
Well, I mean, you can only get money from Spotify from promoting and doing trying to put your music out, but it's obviously doesn't pay well. That's kind of what T just been saying. So
Yeah.
I ain't got much of a
Okay.
different take than T in terms of just like don't make that your main uh, income source. Like obviously that shouldn't be your main. It could be one of your funnels, but it shouldn't be. And I think if you're a creative in 2020 beyond, you need to be able to do multiple things. So um, you just understand there's going to be multiple funnels. It's never going to be just a big funnel like the old days. Like I'm just an actor. I'm just a writer. I'm just a
Mm,
director. Like no, I'm a director and a
mm,
cinematographer, an illustrator
mm,
and an animator. Like you kind of just gotta do it
mm.
these days, and that's just how it is across I think multi creative spectrums. So yeah, you got
I'm
no
glad you
different
brought
take.
that up right there because you was cooking right there, man. Something I want to touch on that you brought up that a lot of people also, not art people, artists actually don't realize nowadays. Because, like I said, back in the day, it was you got a dope talent, scoop you up, throw you in a studio, man. Don't do nothing. You just sit there and rap. Like that's it. We got everything. Like no, it's none of that. Like, and I like the fact that you brought up the when you said like coming into 2020 and forward, you have to wear many hats in this field. Like I hear which is dope when you get established, you know what I'm saying, the workload will get easier. But like even in our journey, like I hear a lot of people throw out casual things when they're podding or some shit like that. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, tell brother clip that up and then give it to the thumbnail guy." And I'm like, "Oh, you got a clip and a thumbnail guy?" Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh, you got a guy. Oh, must be nice." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like even that pertains to everything in the creative field, from artists to whatever, even what we do. Like, like even at the starting of you know what I mean, where we're at in our journey, we don't have a thumbnail clip guy, you know what I mean, whatever guy, a SEO guy, whatever they got. Whatever, he said hella shit. It was hella funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Yeah, we got an SEO guy, we got this guy, we got this guy," and I'm like, okay, well, in the start of your career, a lot of people don't have that. That's a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
you have to do on your own. A lot of grind that you have to put into the game. Which I actually want to tell the artist, don't sleep on that. Like really relish in that time because not only do you get to be good at certain things, you can also spot when somebody's trying to pull a fast one on you by saying they are doing some work. Because you'd be like, nah, so that used to take me only an hour and a half. So how you got the new shit and it's still like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's always good to study multiple facets of the career or the field that you're in. That's all I want to say before we move on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? For sure.